Good afternoon everyone and welcome along to our bird show this afternoon. Now just while this first bird is getting set up and getting ready to do some flying for you all today, if I could just ask you to do exactly what you're doing now. Just make sure that you're sat on your side of that rope barrier there. It is really important for the safety of our birds here, as well as the safety of yourselves too. Our birds do have some very sharp talons and very sharp beaks as well that can dish out some nasty damage if they are spooked at all, so we don't want any of you going home with any nasty cuts or scrapes this afternoon. Instead, we want you getting some really up-close views of a few of our birds here and hopefully learning a little bit more about them too. Now this first bird that we've brought out this afternoon hopefully looks very familiar to you all. We are lucky enough to have this species native to the UK. Now if you don't know already, this is a barn owl. Her name is Bucky, and Bucky is a British barn owl in fact, because you'll actually find 33 subspecies of barn owl across the entire world on every single continent apart from Antarctica. So they are a very widespread bird. Now this could be for a number of reasons. They are incredibly successful hunters, but they also nest in very protected areas too. There is a clue in their name. They are known as the barn owl because typically you will find this species nesting in barns and old abandoned farm buildings. So any large area like this is a really good place to find barn owls. Now nesting inside in sense then is actually a great bit of protection from lots of different weather types. So of course by being inside, those chicks are having a lot of extra protection, which is probably what enabled these barn owls to colonise the entire world. Now the British barn owls hunt in areas very similar to what we have here. So grassy areas, open meadows, things like that are the perfect territory for these barn owls to hunt in. They'll be going after small rodents like mice, voles and shrews, because Bucky here actually weighs less than 300 grams. So there's no way she's going to be able to tackle something the size of a rabbit. She typically goes after prey items that she's able to swallow in one big gulp. Now all of these pieces of food Michelle is giving to Bucky here as well are going straight into her stomach there, and she's putting them straight into her beak as well. This is because owls have pretty good eyesight, just like we do, when it comes to looking from a distance there. So they'll be able to see every perch in this arena here. So that's what she's looking for at the minute. However, when it gets up close, their eyesight actually gets very blurry. It's very hard for them to pick up detail. So there's absolutely no way she can see the food. It's actually right in front of her face. Seeing Bucky up close, you'll notice some hairs just around her beak there, and they're actually really good for sensing the presence of food as well. So she'll use those hairs to try and find out exactly where those food items are that she needs to eat. Now we actually hand-reared Bucky here from a very young age, just a couple of days old, believe it or not. She looked very different to the owl that she is today. She was very pink in coloration, had absolutely no feathers on her at all. To be honest, they're not the cutest babies in the world. They don't even have a cute juvenile stage either. They get these big white fluffy feathers and they're very, very pink faces still. Now the reason that they have these very weirdly shaped faces, the lovely heart-shaped faces some people call it, is because that is their external earlobe in a sense. That facial disc is what allows these owls to really utilise their hearing and hear any possible noise that's going on in the area. Barn owls have very impressive hearing. They're able to hear a mouse's heartbeat from over 10 feet away, believe it or not, so they can listen out for that noise hovering above the ground, tilting their head side to side, trying their best to hear the small tweaks, or squeaks, I should say, or any of that movement too. Any rustling in the grass, anything like that at all. It's going to be going straight to that kind of satellite face that they've got, and then it's going to be absorbed and channeled to the ears on either side of their head. So they actually have ears, although they're very hard to see on Bucky here because they are buried under a very dense layer of feathers. Those feathers are of course for keeping Bucky warm here. Being a British barn owl, we do get very cold weather here in the UK as well, so it's important to have these soft downy feathers. And again, they've actually got quite small skulls, so these feathers make up a lot of the size of their head there. In proportion to their skulls, their eyes are actually very big as well. Very dark in coloration too, which is what enables these owls to have very good eyesight at night, which is typically when you will find them hunting. They are known as corpuscular, which means they will come out at night to hunt, dusk and dawn as well, but you will occasionally see these owls hunting in the day. Now Bucky has actually got pretty good camouflage when it comes to hunting in the day. Today's not a great example of that, to be fair. We've got very nice weather today, but usually British weather is very overcast. So you have a complete blanket of clouds in the sky. And if you look at the underside of Bucky here, you'll see it's very white in coloration. And what this means is for a small rodent running around in the grass, if it was to look up, it'd be very hard for it to pick out Bucky's outline because it blends so perfectly with the sky behind it. And while she does land on the floor as well, you can see we've got yellowy areas of grass here, big areas of mud as well, but especially in fields with long grass in them too, so wheat fields in particular are going to be a great hunting ground for this species. It will keep Bucky very well hidden, so once she's on the ground, catching them prey species and trying to eat them as well, she has got a bit of extra protection with this camouflage.